Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Analysis for iias 2025. It is 13th August today and we are going to discuss these 7 important articles in the Hindu newspaper today. You know, every day we upload 2 videos on this particular YouTube channel. In the first one, we discuss the daily current news analysis. We discuss the most important articles in the Hindu newspaper and try to break those articles in the simplest language possible so that it would be easy for you guys to understand the concepts behind them and apply that knowledge in your preparation. And also with respect to that, in the evening session we upload another video in which we discuss the daily quiz. In the daily quiz session we discuss the questions which we take from the current affairs itself. We frame questions from the current affairs and give you the idea how the questions could be formed from the current affairs and also help you revise your current affairs. And in that session also we discuss few previous year questions too, so that it will give you the best idea how the questions do come in the exam and what are the methods by which you can solve those questions and also gain the information from those questions. With this, first I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe this channel and share this video with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. Now, without any delay, let's look at the topics which we have to discuss today. The first one, as we discussed it yesterday also, the Hindenburgs report, its impact on SEBI chief and how it has been politicized by the opposition. We will discuss it. We will see, we will not go into the deep into the details of this report because yesterday only we discussed that. Today we will pick up some few important developments with respect to this report and see how does it impact our preparation. After that we will go to the Supreme Court's judgment with respect to the Sisodia case when they gave bail to the Mr. Sisodia, and with respect to that the Supreme Court, they asked the government whether the same principles should apply on the Tamil Nadu's ex-minister's case. After this article, we will discuss the disinformation by AI, artificial intelligence. We will see its impacts on the society, how disinformation can be spread by the artificial intelligence. After this, we will discuss about the inflation pulled to 5 months below with respect to the month of July. We will see how does it happen and is it something to be celebrated or there are some hidden facts behind this information. After this article, we will discuss about the report, done by the NCRT with respect to the Kasturia Gandhi Balika Vidyalas. We will discuss it in detail. We will see what this Kasturia Gandhi Balika Vidyalas are and what does this report say. What are those shortfalls with respect to it. After this, we will discuss the collision avoidance system in different modes of transportation. Then finally, we will discuss news with respect to the Peacock Curry, a YouTuber who killed a peacock and made a curry of it, and it posted on the video on the YouTube to gain subscribers. Now we will see how many subscribers he will get in the jail. Now, with respect to that, let's move to the first article. You know, in the last article, in the last yesterday's discussion, we discussed about the Hindenburg's report. We saw the back and forth from Hindenburg's and the SEBI. We saw in the last year's January how they, put up a report with respect to the Adani groups and how did they show that the Adani groups are manipulating their stocks. With respect to that, there was a probe, there was plea in the Supreme Court that this should be taken by the CBI, and Supreme Court did not allow that, but the SEBI, they did their research with respect to that, and they shall send the notes to the Hindenburg. And after that, the Hindenburgs, they gave the reply of that and they raised questions on the chairman of the SEBI. So this is the nutshell story of this everything which happened, which revolved around Hindenburgs and SEBI. Hindenburgs raised a question on the SEBI's chairperson that there were conflicts of interests were there, and the investigation done by the SEBI's chairperson, it was very much biased according to them. These are the allegations. Now we'll see the further improvements to this case, where it has led to, and what are the points which we need to know, which were in the news article in the newspaper today. You know, there are, as the Hindenburg said, that they had raised concerns related to the conflict of interests. They had shown that how SEBI's chairperson and her husband are involved in different Adani groups. Directly or indirectly, they are involved in the Adani group stocks, and they are helping them manipulate them, and we discussed about it. With respect to that, it led to the huge cry in the opposition, and they started demanding for the resignation of the SEBI chairperson. And with respect to this, the opposition in the government, they started, you know, they are asking for the joint parliamentary committee, and discuss this in detail. What has happened? Why they ask for this? Because they think that right now the bureaucracy is under the conflict. Right now, if the chairperson of the SEBI is under the conflict, it will definitely impact the reputation of this agency, and it will definitely impact the investors' choices to invest in Indian stocks. So uh, there is a need to restore this confidence of investors in Indian stocks in this agency. So according to the opposition parties, this JPC should be formed with respect to this. About JPCs, we should know that these are the ad hoc committees. They are JPCs are formed when they are required. In the JPCs, we should know that both the members are both from the ruling party and the opposite party, and also we should know that in JPC both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members are involved. So what they are right now demanding, that this JPC should be formed and it should take this case and study it and give its recommendations. One more thing we should know about the JPC: its recommendations are not binding on the government. It is up to the government whether they will accept it or not. So this was, a simple article, very small article with respect to Hindenburg's report and what the opposition are demanding right now. And in this article, we found out few concepts which we should know. The concept of short selling. What is that? Usually how this concept of short selling is involved in, how it is like, this can be used by the investors to manipulate it. This is the side effect of manipulation of stocks. This short selling is very much legal if it is covered short selling. If it is naked, then it is not legal. What is this short selling? We should know that short selling is the selling of securities when market prices are higher, and they borrow them when the market prices are lower. So this is about the short selling. With respect to this, there is a covered short selling. What is covered short selling? In it, the actual borrowing is done, and there is naked short selling. In it, the investors do not borrow at all, they just do it without borrowing. So this naked short selling, it is not allowed in India. So how this is important with this topic? If there was if the chairperson of SEBI is involved in it, if manipulation was really done in this case, then these concepts would had got importance, because they would sell it when they would know when market prices will raise, because they will make some comments, or they will act like that. They will go for those instruments which will raise the confidence of the people and raise the market prices. And when the market prices will raise, they will sell those instruments suddenly, and this will definitely impact the stock market. So that's why this short selling concept is very important here. you know One more thing I want to discuss here, that when last year the Hindenburg's report came, when it alleged against the manipulation by the Adani groups, it had very worse impact on the Adani stocks. They went very low during that time. But right now, it did not had this report. When it gave its report with respect to the chairperson of SEBI, it did not had that impact, because it was very personal to the chairperson, and people's trust is still there. Market's trust is still there. on the stocks, and it does not, this report had least impact on the stocks right now. And one more thing about it, the market has understood that these are just allegations right now, and it is particular to the particular person. So these allegations were particular to the particular person. It was not in respect to the any stocks, but it does had impacted the Adani Group's stocks. They went a little bit down, but not as down as they went during the last year of January. And also with this, we should know one more thing. It is Rule 19 of the Securities Contracts Regulation Rules of 1957. What does it say? It says any company which is listed in the stock market must maintain at least 25% public shareholding, that is 25% shares with public, excluding the owners, their relatives. 25, any stock market must contain at least 25% public shareholding. That is, any stock 25% should belong to the public. And in the public, it does not mean that it should be the owners, relatives, or anything. They are excluded from that. So it should be the general public. That 25% of any stock should belong to that, so that the the rule, this about this rule, it does not apply to the government owned entities. And by this, why it is done? To stop the manipulation in the market. With respect to these allegations, this was one more concept in it. So coming back to the Hindenburgs report, its allegation, the SEBI has stated all the disclosures has been done by the chairperson and her husband. Now the question is, was the recusal done? What is this recusal? A recusal, usually it comes in the judiciary when there is case against any judge. He recuses, he does the recusal, मतलब कि वो खुद अपना केस नहीं लेता है और किसी जज को बताता है कि वो केस ले. उसी with respect to that, there was claims against the SEBI chairperson. So here the question is, was the recusal done by the SEBI chairperson on the time? So there would be more discussion on it that we will discuss in the upcoming classes, I am very much sure. And about this today's discussion, there were few points which I think I had made them very much clear here. In today's discussion about Hindenburg's report, we discussed about the opposition parties' claim for they are asking for the JPC. About JPC, we discussed it is an ad hoc committee. It is set up when it is required, and its investigation is not, its recommendation is not forced on the government. It is their will whether they will take it or not. And also, why they are asking for the JPC? To restore the confidence of the investors. And also with respect to this, we discussed about the short selling, a trick to manipulate the markets. How does short selling work? It has two types, covered and naked. Then we saw the impact of the Hindenburg's report on Indian stocks, how it has impacted, very least impact, because this report was particular to the chairperson. It was very much personal, so it does not have that much impact on the market. And market had understood that these are right now, these are just allegations and nothing more right now. And one more thing, it does impact Adani Group's stocks, but not that much. And also in this, we discussed about the Rule 19A of Securities Contract Regulation Rule 1957. It is about the 25% share with the public, excluding owners and their relatives. That of any stock in the market, 25% should belong to the general public. With this, let's move to the another topic of discussion. It talks about if Sisodia's verdict could apply to the Tamil Nadu's ex-minister's case. We discussed about the Sisodia verdict. He was caught under PMLA. He was because of some money laundering allegations against him. His case went to the trial courts, then the High Court. They rejected his plea to give him to grant him the bail. Then it went to the Supreme Court. They also initially rejected it, but they said that the trial should be done very quickly. But again, he went for the bail, and finally the Supreme Court said that the time taken by the investigating agencies is very long, and this is the time that we should give the personal liberty. It is the right to live, right to life of a person who is under this accusation. So मतलब कि आप इतना टाइम इन्वेस्टिगेशन में नहीं ले सकते कि इस बेचारे का मतलब कि आप जिंदगी जेल में ही गुजारे वो टाइम तक. So with respect that, the Supreme Court made a judgment that अगर आप इतना टाइम ट्रायल लेने में जा रहे हो, इतना टाइम लेते हो, so it should, then the twin test which is under the section 45 of PMLA does not have that impact here. So मतलब कि twin, what is this twin test in under section 45 of the PMLA? That if the courts believe that, first, if the courts believe that the person is not guilty, and the second, they believe that if he is given bail he won't alter, uh, they believe that if he is given bail he won't alter the investigation or evidence or do anything bad. So this is a twin test. Under this twin test it is very hard for any person to get the bail. But what did the court say during Sisodia's case a few days back? They said that right now the investigation agency, they are taking too long while investigating the case, and for that we cannot apply this on him. It is his right to get the bail, and he was granted the bail. Now the Supreme Court, they are asking the question to the government whether they should apply, another bench of the Supreme Court, they are asking the government whether they should apply the same criteria in the case of the Tamil Nadu ex-minister's case, as he is also under the PMLA, under PMLA. And with respect to this, we should know one more thing. Usually the bail is, it is a norm and jail is the exception. And if you had been with me, if you had if when I discussed this case in detail few days back, I told you now the direction of Indian courts is changing. They are moving very fast. They are trying to solve these cases very मतलब कि बहुत जल्दी अपना verdict भी देना चाहते हैं, and एंड दिस मतलब कि एक नैरेटिव खत्म करना चाहते हैं. एंड ऑल्सो वी saw that how this section 45 will be taken under the Supreme Court's review. So I believe that they will most probably make it unconstitutional and bails would be granted very easily. This is my personally what I believe with respect to the PMLA. And usually the Supreme Courts are right now following this norm, which is bail is the norm and jail is the exception. This was in nutshell about this article. I hope I made it very much clear to you guys. Moving to the another article, it is about the disinformation by the artificial intelligence. Right now we are living in the times of artificial intelligence. We are living in the times of science and technology. Anything as small as it could be will circulate all around the world within the fraction of seconds. So it is very important for the agencies, for the governments, for the people who control all this stuff, that this should be very much regulated. What they are putting on the internet, it should be true and it should not be misleading. We had seen the case of lots of misinformation which got circulated recently. If you remember, recently, a few days before, and a video of you know of Elon Musk was circulating on the internet, and he even posted it on his Twitter account, that how AI is dangerous. It how AI is dangerous and how it can spread the false information, and how it is important to regulate these instruments. Right now this lots of misinformation is getting circulated, and because of the AI tools it has increased in the numbers. We had seen usage of deep fake videos. If you remember, last year also we saw a video of Indian actress that was manipulated. How dangerous this AI is. It can be used by the, if it is under the bad hands, it can be used by the terrorists. It can be used by the anti-national elements, and separate the hate in the country. So it is very important to regulate it. It is very important for the countries to bring the regulations which can control this fake information spread. There is another concept which was in the article today. It was about the pig butchering. So we need to know about such concepts, because usually, if you remember, such questions do come in the exam. They may ask such question, what pig butchering is about. Sorry, I had misspelled. It is not pig bothering, it is pig butchering. So what is it? It is a new type of process. People will approach you in this and will ask you, you to invest in certain market. They will be very kind to you, and they will give you the feeling that you are controlling everything, what is under your hand. it feels like that, but suddenly when you will invest more money in that, they will scam you and take out all that money. So this is the new concept used by these scammers. So this need to be controlled. और हम देखेंगे how this will impact अगर ये these fake informations are circulated, or these important tools are hacked. For example, we recently saw that the crowd strike in Microsoft, you know about $44 million were lost due to this small glitch. Even though it was a simple glitch, but $44 million were lost by the companies. And so how big impact it is having, these small glitches. If it was done by any terrorist organization, then the impact would have been very much devastating. So right now it is the proper prayer time to regulate all this stuff, and form a cloud which will protect all this stuff. So this is what was in the article and what is needed right now. Now moving forward to the another article, it talks about the inflation. It was pulled to the 5 months low. It is very interesting topic, because right now we often hear the news that inflation is rising, but this is very much shocking in a term that how it has reduced, how retail inflation came down to 4%. What is the is it something to be celebrated, or there are some hidden points in it? Now the author says it is not something to be celebrated, because we have the base effect. We when we compare inflation, we compare it with the last year, and with respect to the month of July, when we compare it with the last 2023's July, we saw there was huge inflation. The prices were very huge. You know in the in for the price level, July 2023 price levels were very high, and with respect to that, the prices had come down. That is why the inflation rate has decreased. But in fact, if we will see in the reality, the prices are still rising with respect to respect to the instruments which are calculated in the CPI. you know uh, uh, with respect to the CPI data, for the urban inflation is 3%, and for the rural inflation it is 4.1%. Why it is for the rural, why it is more than urban? Because the usage of food and beverages is huge in the rural inflation. So this was about this inflation, why it has pulled to 5 months low. It is not that the prices are decreasing, but it is due to the effect of the base effect. On the account of the base effect, we are seeing that in the last year's July 2023, we saw the prices were too high. With respect to that, the prices had decreased, but still prices are very high. Now moving forward to the another article, it is about the NCRTs. They find certain shortfalls in the Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalas. Who was Kasturba Gandhi? She was Mahatma Gandhi's wife. So on her name, this initiative was brought in. Why this initiative was brought in? First, we will go to the background of it. There are certain areas which are very much educationally background. The schools are way far from those areas, from the people living in those areas, and it is not easy for the girl child to go to the school, because there are very issues, security issues are there, transportation issues are there, and economical issues are there. So with respect to that, the government of India had brought up this scheme. What is this scheme in it? The under this scheme, 5,000 Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalas were formed. More than 2,700 hostels, plus more than 2,700 are hostels plus schools, and 2,300 are hostels. They give the a living place to the woman, to the girl child, to stay there and go to the schools, or in those particular hostels itself there would be the schools. So what were the reports finding, what were the findings of the NCRT? They found that there is the lack of infrastructure under this Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalas. There is lack of transparency, and there is lack of manpower under it. And they also found that the teachers don't stay there for a longer duration. Many Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalas are not well functioned functional, they are not functional because of the land issues and all that stuff revolving around them. And also there were the demands from the, as we saw that many KGBVs, they are without schools, and parents are demanding that the schools should also be with the hostels. Within the hostels itself there should be schools for every KGBV. But NCRT does not agree with that, because they want these girl childs to go to the surrounding schools, enroll into the surrounding schools, and understand and learn from them, understand and evolve their personalities. If they will stay in these KGBVs, they will not be, their mentality will not be that much developed. It is like they will be isolated from the rest of the world. So this was about this report. I hope I made it very much clear to you guys. Now to the another article, it is about the collision avoidance system. It is about the auto collision system. What is this collision avoidance system? We have different modes of transportation, and usually we see in the news is that फलानी जगह पे accident हुआ, वहाँ पे accident हुआ, दूसरी जगह accident हुआ, many people got died because of that. We had seen railway accidents, we had seen air crashes, we had seen road accidents. So with respect to that, there is a need for the avoidance of these accidents, and that is done by this collision avoidance system. What is this in this collision avoidance system? We have different scientific ways or different technologies which we use in different modes of transportation. For example, in a road transport system, we have ADAS, which is advanced driving assistance system. What is this advanced driving assistance system? Under this system, if two cars are approaching, they are approaching to each other. If any car is having this advanced driving assistance system, it will find the obstruction, and it will automatically apply the brakes and slow down the car, and try to avoid this collision. Similarly, in trains there is coverage system. There in the coverage system, multiple pieces of technologies are used. For example, there are multiple sensors, GPS, and all that stuff, which help in avoiding these collisions. And similarly, in the aircrafts, we have transponders. What does the transponders do? They collect the information in the air, and find out what are the nearby airplanes to them, and they make and show which are the aeroplanes in their vicinity, make the map of those aeroplanes and show it to the pilot, and so that he can avoid those aircrafts and avoid these collision. So this was about the collision avoidance system in different modes of transportation. Now moving to the another article of today's discussion, which is the last article. It is about the Peacock Curry. Why is UPSC going to ask you what is the ingredients of peacock curry now? But let us see what is the reason behind why we are discussing this. There was a YouTuber. He published the video of a peacock curry. He had supposedly killed the peacock and fried it and made the curry of it. So he is going to get into jail definitely. For this, we are not going to, UPSC will not ask you how many subscribers did he got, but definitely the UPSC may ask you about the status of peacock. We should know that the peacock is the national bird of our country, and we need to respect that. It enjoys the protection status under the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And if anybody kills this peacock, he will be imprisoned and also fined. The imprisonment may raise to the 7 years, and the fine till 10 fine up to 10,000 rupees. So such incidents often happen. Why these incidents happen? Because there is lack of information in the people. Many people in our country, they don't know who are the animals which we need to kill. They don't have the proper knowledge about all this stuff, all the basic stuff which the people should know. Even I knew it because I'm studying this stuff for UPSC. So I am here to discuss it with you. Otherwise I would have not known it that I cannot kill. If I would have not studied for UPSC, I would have never known. It would have never come to me that uh, I cannot kill peacock. There are few things which common man does not know. So what is the need for what is the need of the time that the government should bring such initiatives? We need to educate the people. I don't find, personally, I feel sorry for this YouTuber because he did not knew. Trust me, he would have never known that it is banned to kill such animal. There was no prior. I believe that he would had no, he would definitely not had the information with respect to it. So, what is the need that this knowledge should be transferred to the common person? You cannot write into the articles in the newspaper. Not everybody in our country reads newspaper, and not everybody is educated. So there should be different ways by which we can educate the people about this stuff. There are many such accidents happen which people don't know whether they are allowed or not. So we need to educate them with respect to this and tell them what is necessary, what they have to do. We need to educate every person and what they have to protect, what is essential for the country, so that we can avoid such accidents. And trust me, I feel very much sorry for this YouTuber, because trust me, if he would have known how problematic it could be for him and for the country, he would have definitely not done. So is it totally his fault, or is it the fault of the authorities that they are not able to make people understand what is allowed in the country and what is not? I personally believe people should know about such stuff, especially these minute stuff which we often ignore. People should very much know about such stuff. And with this we conclude today's discussion. I hope you would like the video, and I hope you would definitely share it. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much.